rapid sequence innovation and advanced area procedures, stemming and stroke protocols. You guys know what stemming and strokes are, right? Okay. We have EPOC, electronic point of contact. That's a blood analyzing machine. We can get blood values to the ER doc prior to arrival. That kind of cuts down on time of them having to run another test. They probably will anyway, but they have initial values that they can go off of to kind of determine if the person's in shock and stuff like that. It's a small handheld thing. It looks like an overgrown cell phone. We have portable ultrasound on each aircraft also.
Wow.
They can use it to determine pneumothoraxes, or if it's a difficult IV stick, they can use that to find the veins and get an IV like that. And that's on board each. All these are on board each aircraft that we have, Staff 1, Staff 2, and Staff 3. No aircraft is different, just what it looks like on the outside. Well, I mean on the inside too, but. And that's supposed to be playing. Deciding which ambulance to call. Distance versus speed. Closest is not always the fastest. We have actually Staff 2 and Staff 3 are the fastest aircraft in the state, I think. Hold on. And these are the cruising speeds. So it varies with models. Normal cruise speed for Staff 2 and Staff 3 is 150 miles. The 902, 145 to 150. 206 is Aerovac, and the 407, that's Flight Eagle. So we're kind of comfortable with the 407 with Staff 2 and Staff 3. Staff 2 or Staff 1 isn't, the fastest, but it can hold the most, and it is still fast. And we carry blood. Resources needed. Is blood needed? Because we now do ultrasound too. Membership programs. Would waiting, if the person is a member of a program, will waiting for that aircraft be detrimental to that person's health? If that person with the pipe sticking out of them was a member, would you wait the extra 15 minutes for that aircraft that he's a membership of? Nah, I probably wouldn't. If you have one that's 8 minutes away or one that's 23 minutes away, I'd probably take the one that's 23 minutes away. We don't have a membership program. We did for about 2 years. We had purchased a company out of Arizona, New Mexico area, and we just started using their membership program. And before that, they were working on an insurance product, and in November of last year, it rolled out, and it's an actual benefits plan that has a membership program or insurance product with it. $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000 per flight, depending on what you want to buy. Staff 1, the clinic base, capabilities and resources. That's actually the old Staff 1. It's a 902 twin engine aircraft. Sometimes referenced to as a bariatric helicopter because of its load capacity. We can do specialty teams, we do neonate transports, we do balloon pumps, we do high-risk OBs. A lot of the other services don't do those.
Is there anything you don't mess with?
Uh,
Other than hazmat and dangerous situations?
that would be something to ask the military when they get here.
Arrests.
Do what?
Cardiac arrest, right?
We do cardiac, we'll transport them. It has to be a witnessed arrest.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a traumatic, if it's a like a penetrating chest or abdomen wound, and they're in arrest, we'll transport them. Because Dr. Kokenauer was part of a study, I believe, that said that if they're transported and they get to the hospital, 16% possibility of surviving, which is better than 0% if you don't transport them. So I'll take my chances with 16. Average cruise speed of about 145 to 150. When it first came out in December of 12, we did 4 days of round robin to the different service areas. I did the first day, we flew Columbia to Moberly, to Macon, to Kirksville, and then over to Memphis, Missouri, then to Hannibal, Missouri, and then back down. We had a little bit of tailwind on the way up there, and we hit 200 knots, I believe, 200 knots, and that's about 222 miles an hour. On the way back, the pilot got excited because we were flying into the headwind, and we hit 100 knots, so he was a little excited. He's like, woo, 100. So we're pretty fast, even in the wind. Staff 2 and Staff 3, both single engine aircraft, one patient transport, 400-pound patient weight. Like I said, that is determined by the weight and balance and basically the size of the crew on board that day. And average cruising speed of 150 miles an hour. They are side loading, require multiple personnel to carry the stretcher, only load cold, engine cool down of 30 seconds, start time of 1 minute. If they are on scene and they land in the highway, they'll probably stay running if they do that, because they don't want to chance it where they shut down and there becomes a minute, they try to start up and it doesn't start up. There's some kind of mechanical issue. They want to shut down the highway for longer than they have to, and that's happened before. That's our new helicopter, the 902, did an awesome paint job. It is a no-tar helicopter, no tail rotor, so it's super safe on scene. We do keep you away from the tail section, or from the rear of the tail section, just so you guys don't get complacent and like, oh, well, that other helicopter didn't have a tail rotor. And you walk back to another helicopter and you meet an unfortunate
How does it
incident.
turn without a tail rotor?
Good show.
Sorry, I'm a nerd, I gotta ask.
That's fine. It all has to do with, it's an aerodynamics thing, really. It went from medical to aerodynamics. But the entire tail boom is hollow, basically. If you look at the engines, when you get here, in between the engines and the back, there's a grate. It's just it just sucks air. Whatever the ambient air temperature is what the air temperature is that coming out the back.
Okay.
There's a movable tail coming on back. Along the side of the boom, tail boom, there's a small slit, and air actually flows out of that also. And it makes the wing, or the tail boom act like a wing, because the rotor wash from the main rotor flows over that, and it makes it go faster on one side than the other, creating lift, as opposed to this way with an airplane. It creates it this way, so it's anti-torque. I've seen the fan. It's a 17-bladed fan, right where the tail boom meets the fuselage. It looks like a big salad shooter. There's an access hatch you can open, and the pilots or the mechanics that look down, I look down the tail boom. There's like 4 wires going down, 2 on each side for the lights, in control of the vertical stabilizer. And you turn around, right there is a big fan, and it just spins at a constant speed. The blades rotate to a different, to vary the wind going through.
Cool.
And there is your aerodynamic lesson for the day. There's pictures. They got the grate on top, and then it shoots it down. You can see where it comes out the side.
Do you have temperature requirements for running these? I mean, if it's 30 below or 120, does it matter? Okay.
And this aircraft, I was downtown in St. Louis today for a meeting, and it's been a while since I've heard of BK, our old helicopter. I'm used to the A-Stars and the 902 now. And one of the BKs landed, and I was like, that thing is damn loud. Because this one, the 902, super quiet. Like 70% of the sound from a helicopter comes from the tail rotor. And see, you got your wing on top. That's just a conventional wing. And it shows how it does it on the side, on the tail boom. This is just a weight summary for the aircraft. What it can carry, how much fuel it can carry, payload capability. What does this mean for you? Once they get their equipment, the crew, and a full tank of gas on board on the aircraft, they can lift 1,400 pounds extra. we would have trouble putting a 400-pound, or 1,400-pound patient in there because we'd have trouble getting them through the door. But it's technically a feasible option. 400 pounds is a lot to lift. We've done, this is, the only limitation is the cot and the pedestal that it's on. It's rated at 500 pounds max. I think we've done 3, 4, 5 500-pound patients. We actually did, 480-pound patient yesterday, all the way to St. Louis.
How long does that flight take?
42 minutes maybe. It'd be tonight. Well, I mean, that's to downtown St. Louis. That's
Mhm.
in, so it's probably at least a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
Your role is critical in maintaining safe landings and operations. Responsible for communicating appropriate information to the communication center, 911 center, and the pilots. Dispatching the aircraft. Our comm center is in Omaha, Nebraska. It was in St. Louis, Missouri. It's in Omaha. It's sensory overload. If you have epilepsy, don't go up there. There's bells and whistles and lights and videos going on everywhere. There's, I think, 40 dispatchers on at a time.
48?
Yeah, and well, they, like I said, they dispatch for 70+ services nationwide,
Okay.
so. Information to provide, this is mainly for the dispatch centers, the town or county they're in, the nearest town, any landmarks, major highways, lakes, water towers, cell towers. The water towers are good because, they have, we can look for the name of the town on the water tower. Most water towers have the name of the town. Excuse me, a callback number, number of patients and their approximate weight and nature of injury or illness, GPS coordinates if available. I, as a dispatcher, loved getting the nearest intersection. You can't go wrong with the nearest intersection. You can mess up the coordinates, and I've seen it done on multiple occasions. Somebody gives me coordinates, say they're at this intersection, I plot the coordinates, and they're 20 miles this way or 20 miles that way. They don't clear it out. It'll show it later on that please clear out the GPS. We're using degrees, minutes, and decimals of minutes, 0.92, 42.55. So like that. We're not using hours, minutes, or seconds, or degrees, feet, and inches. It's degrees, minutes, and seconds. And make sure you use your GPS before getting coordinates, please. Staff Life Dispatch, that's in St. Louis. That's neither there anymore, and that guy works for Airback now. But that number is correct. We have 2 standby procedures, ground standby or air standby. The ground standby can save several minutes. The crews, like a day like today, they go to the aircraft. They'll take down, if the pilot has the shade in there, because it gets hot in the aircraft. If he has a shade on the windows, he'll take it off. They'll get ready to go and sit by the aircraft. If it's the wintertime, they'll take the heaters out. In the summertime, like a couple weeks ago, it's hot. They had air conditioners. They had to pull all that stuff out. The aircraft is actually plugged in to electrical posts. They undo all the cords, wrap them up, do their walk around. Air standby, this can save a lot more time than just a ground standby. We actually lift off and we head in the direction of the scene. And there is no cost to patient or requesting agency if returned. There's a myth out there that if Boone County calls, and any service really calls, and says, hey, we need an aircraft in the air, can you please come this way? Roger that. We launch them, we get over the scene, and you guys cancel us. Patient J4, patient J1, whatever, not needed. We turn back to base. There's a myth that somebody's getting billed. Nobody's getting billed. We have to make patient contact to bill anybody. And the only person getting billed if we make patient contact is the patient. So if we land and we make patient contact and the patient expires after we make patient contact, unfortunately, we will probably have to at least bill the patient's insurance. I don't think we'll go after the remaining, but we will bill the insurance and just to recoup something.
How expensive are you?
Nationwide, they run about $25,000 flight.
Do insurance companies cover that?
It depends on the insurance company. I know my insurance does. I have TRICARE Reserve Select, so
Okay.
it's gonna pay a huge portion of it.
Mhm.
I have to pay $2,000 out of pocket.
Okay.
So that's why I purchased the benefits plan that I have.
Mhm.
I would call your insurance, and like I said, this product we have that has the insurance product, just real quick, what it does is we would bill the insurance, bill is $25,000. Your insurance pays $23,000 of it, that's $2,000 out of pocket.
Mhm.
This is when this benefit kicks in, they send the $10,000 or the $15,000 or the $20,000, whatever it is, whatever you opt for, to the company. They take their $2,000, you get the remaining lump sum. So it's either $8,000, $13,000, or well, $20,000 or $18,000 that you would get a lump sum of. So. Response times. Our goal is 5 minutes from the time the crew is notified to lifting the aircraft off the ground. Possible delays, weather checks, tie downs, covers on aircraft or aircraft is in the hangar, or add fuel for longer flights. Sometimes we get calls from the on-scene guy, or from the dispatch center saying, hey, the on-scene commander is saying the patient wants to go to Kansas City. Pilot will have to do a weather check probably again. Even if he's green, he's going on a farther way, he's going on a further distance. They're coming back to university. He'll want to do a weather check to Kansas City. There may be a line of storm, no can do. Okay, sorry. He'll also add fuel probably, if it needed be. They carry, I think, 2.5 hours of fuel is what they carry. So, and they have to have a reserve. The tie downs are for the blades. They start bouncing around in the weather, in the wind, and they will break, and they cost $25,000 a blade probably. And the covers on the aircraft, for some reason birds love to build nests inside the engine compartment. So they've taken rubber rats, rubber snakes, anything they think of, owls, and they still do it. Like, that's fake. Still build them a nest. Weather checks, what are they? It's to protect the safety of the crews and the patients of staff life, and we adhere to strict weather minimums. If weather is marginal or forecasted, the pilot will check the satellite weather before accepting or denying a flight. We have 3 colors that we go when they call into the comm center for the day, for their shift: red, yellow, green. Red means they're not flying. It's icing, it's severe thunderstorms or whatever all day long. Yellow, they want to do weather checks when they get called. Green, like today, it was probably a green day for most pilots. So, hey, we can fly wherever you want today. So, and these are our local conditions, or these are weather conditions, minimum, sorry. You can see day and night are different by 2 or 3 miles and then 200 feet. And 35 miles is considered local from the base. That's 17 minutes of flying time, basically. Should you request a helicopter? Chopper shopping. Chopper shopping is when the first aircraft declines the flight for weather, and that request actually goes to call somebody else. They call us, and then they call Aerovac, or they call Aerovac, and then they call us because the first service couldn't take it. It's kind of frowned upon. If they're going to do it, we request that they do let us know that another service turned down for weather. We always did it, and it depends on the weather. As a dispatcher, I would always call another service. I'm just like, we're not flying, and I'm not going to put the pressure on another service to fly when I know we have the same minimums. So, flying in poor weather conditions is one of the leading causes of air ambulance crashes. It puts pressure on the pilots to make a go decision in conditions of marginal weather. It increases the risks. We don't want that. Low risk as possible. When is it okay? If your your second aircraft you're requesting is coming from a different direction. The weather patterns go from usually west to east. That's where the weather systems go. And if it's not a factor, if an aircraft is unavailable due to weather, due to maintenance, scheduled or unscheduled, and all aircraft go through scheduled maintenance. I mean, every day they do a maintenance check on it, just a daily check, and then every so often, every so many hours, they'll actually take parts of it apart. They do zone checks and stuff, and like this aircraft was out of service for 6 weeks. We had a replacement one, but it was out of service for 6 weeks. They had it broken down. I mean, everything off of it, and they replaced parts that needed to be replaced just because they had so many hours on them, not because they were defective. Just, okay, this has passed its time limitation, time to replace it. Or if they're out of service for being on another flight or no crew. And once again, essential to inform them that other aircraft have turned it down in flight